What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Nutrition Talks with Tyson the Trainer, aka me. Today, we're going to get back into it. We're going to be talking about aspartame, okay? Everyone's been banging on about it recently. You still see fucking things on TikTok and Instagram talking about how bad this is. You see headlines, oh my God, aspartame is now classed as a carcinogen. And people are jumping up and down about this, freaking out. Oh, should I be stopped drinking sugar-free drinks? And then people start to gaslight themselves. And like, oh, actually, you know what? I wonder if it is this. I wonder if this is what's been making me. And it's like, okay, so everyone's jumping to conclusions. Everyone's freaking the fuck out. Everyone's trying to now find something else to blame or to try and avoid. And it's like, let's just talk about the facts. Like what the facts are when it comes to knowing what it means to be a carcinogen and where this kind of falls in the ranking. Because as soon as you hit carcinogen, it's like, holy shit. All right, everything's like it's carcinogen. It's going to kill you. Okay, well, before we go down that route and start freaking out, let's just not read the headlines. Let's just look a little bit more into what the research and the data actually shows, okay? Now, in saying this, I am someone who, weirdly enough, since coming back overseas, I haven't been drinking a lot of sugar-free drinks. Been drinking a lot more juice because I had a lot of juice over there. Fuck, I love juices. How good is a fresh squeezed juice? Drinking a lot of water, which just weirdly I've had like more of a palate for water. And like since coming back, I think I've had like one sugar-free drink every few days. And that's not to say this has made me change my mind at all. It's just actually weirdly, funnily enough, that like I've been drinking less of them. Where I think just because I had other beverage choices over there, overseas, and like again, choosing a lot more juices. In the Middle East, they use a lot of mint and lemon, which is actually a great combo. So I just found other things I want to drink. And teas. I've been getting into teas lately. Like all the fruity teas, which I've never really drank before. So that's just me changing stuff up. But that's nor here nor there. I'm not to say that I'm avoiding sugar-free drinks because, again, they still play a part in our overall life. So talking about a carcinogen, okay? You found out it's carcinogen. It's like, oh shit, it's going to kill you. Well, firstly, what we need to know, what you guys need to know, is there is multiple groups of carcinogens, okay? Like carcinogens are not all on the same level where it's like, I'm trying to think of an example of like what a carcinogen is. Let's say smoking tobacco or asbestos is not the equivalent of aspartame, all right? Like versus what it's actually going to do to you, how it's going to kill you, how it could cause cancer, things like that, all right? Basically how it's going to kill a human. Like there's different degrees of what these, like classes of what these are, and that's what I kind of want to cover with you today. So let's look at group 1, okay? Group 1. Group 1 carcinogens are, that means there is sufficient evidence, I'm just reading this off the cancer, IARC classifications, which is, what is that called? Sorry, I'm actually reading this off the American Cancer Society, my fault. So American Cancer Society, talking about what the different classes are. So group A, group 1, I should say, there is sufficient evidence that the agent causes cancer in humans. So there's enough evidence to show this is going to cause cancer in humans. What have we got here? Solar radiation, right? Processed meats, so bacon, anything with nitrates in them and nitrites. So bacon, pastrami, salami, all the good processed meats. We want to actually try and avoid them. They're a type 1, all right? Like they're the highest, okay? People are still fucking eating these in droves. They're still all over pizza. They're everywhere still. That's a type 1, okay? Alcoholic beverages are a type 1, known to be a toxic thing to humans, all right? Smoking tobacco, asbestos, talc-based baby powder, contaminated with asbestos. Did not know that was a thing. So they're all in your group 1. There's actually a lot that I was looking at here. I was like, holy shit, there's actually a lot of group 1 things. And I was like, oh, these are crazy. But just things that you guys know about. Coke production, funnily enough, is a type 1. I know a lot of people do Coke. So you got to think about it. If you've done cocaine before, you drink alcohol, you go out in the sun without sunscreen and you want to get a tan, or you use a UV bed. What are they called? A tanning bed, a UV bed. You don't use a tanning bed. You're smoking cigarettes, you're smoking vapes, you're eating processed meats. These are things that are known to be, that will cause cancer in humans, all right? Like, these are fucking type 1 things. How many of you listening right now, like, I'll be honest, like, fuck, man, I eat processed meats, right? I still drink occasionally. I do this shit. Like, that's the worst. These are the worst things, right? In group 1. We all do this shit. are you gonna stop going to the sun? Are you gonna stop tanning? Are you gonna stop drinking? Are you gonna stop doing these things? No. Okay. So you're freaking out about something that's not even in the group 1. Okay. You're doing stuff that's in the group 1, but you're focusing on aspartame at the moment. Okay. So let's go down the list. Now you're up to group 2A. So group 2A, there is sufficient evidence in the agent causes cancer. There is sufficient. So it's there is sufficient. Oh, it's so I should reclass that. This one probably carcinogenic to humans. Is a probable carcinogen. I can't even say the word. 2A is a probable carcinogen. Group 1 is like it's definitely carcinogen. So 2A is probably is. All right. It's funny how they class this. So in this, anabolic steroids, so anyone who's done anabolic steroids, including me being on TRT, still done steroids before, this goes in that category. High temperature frying, so when we have foods that we fry at high temperatures, we all eat deep fried food. When you charcoal food, so when you burn something on the grill and it makes that charcoaling on the meat, I should say. Too much red meat. So there's a weekly intake of red meat we should be having. Roundup glyphosate, which is very big in America. I'm not sure it's so much here. No idea what nitrodiethylamine is, NDMA. I don't think it's MDMA, it's NDMA. Don't know what that is. I don't know what actose is. But like common ones there, frying, charcoaling food, steroids, and too much red meat, okay? You're probably going to be a carcinogen, all right? Aspartame is still not there. We're going to go down the list again to group 2B, possibly carcinogenic to humans. There is limited evidence in humans and less sufficient evidence in animals. Basically means, we've seen a little bit. There's probably nothing in humans. We've seen a little bit in animals. We actually don't know. This is where I did not know this. Aloe vera leaf extract, isn't it? I didn't even know that was a thing. Diesel, fuel, gasoline, engine exhaust. So we're walking around every day, we're getting engine exhaust. Asian pickled vegetables, again, very interesting that that's in there. Progestin, and then we see aspartame, okay? So that's where aspartame is, right? In group 2B, that's where it's being put in. So not group 1, not group 2A, 2B. Now we're gonna go to the last one where it's group 3 is not classifiable as it's carcinogenic, I can't even say the word, in humans. So basically the evidence is inadequate in humans and inadequate in animals. So there's very, very limited evidence. Coffee is in this. Low frequency electric field, dental materials, ceramic implants, chlorinated drinking water, tea, and printing inks. All right. Again, these ones are like, it's quite interesting they put tea and coffee and stuff in there where it's like humans fucking consume this in ridiculous amounts. I assume if these would be any issue, it would come up by now. But that's not here nor there. We're here to look at aspartame, all right? So again, it's in group 2B, possibly carcinogenic. I can't even say the fucking word. So possibly. However, again, we're trying to look at these little things that, this isn't good for you. It's the sweetener. It's this, it's like, okay, well, anyone who's fucking doing coke, who's drinking alcohol, who's getting sun rays, who's tanning in a tanning bed, who's smoking tobacco or smoking or doing vapes and shit, that's what you should be fucking focusing on, all right? This is the issue that people are having is they're like, it's aspartame. And it's like, holy fuck, man, there's a lot more things to really focus on. That's the first point I want to make. Second point is the dose still makes the poison, okay? So doses for all these things still make the poison. If you drink one alcoholic drink, you're not going to fucking get cancer, all right? If you have one cigarette, you're not going to get cancer. Fun fact, I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. Very happy to say that. I've had tobacco, I've spun it with weed before. I've had tobacco and shisha and stuff like that, but I just never smoked a cigarette. I've still had tobacco though. What's the point? I'm still bragging about something I've still had. So, you smoke one tobacco, you're not gonna get cancer. You go in the sun once, you're not gonna fucking get cancer. But these things in the dose, consistently over time will cause an issue. So if we're to think about aspartame having any possible potential issue, when we look at what the data says, they've found toxicity levels at 40 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. So just for an example, if you're a 50 kilo person, that's 2,000 milligrams is where it becomes toxic. What's 2,000 milligrams? Well, one Coke Zero or Pepsi Max, which is better, or Solo, whatever it is, on average, it has about 90 grams, okay? So 90 grams per can. So if you would have 10 cans a day, that's only 900 grams. If you would have 20 cans a day, that's 1800 milligrams, all right? Did I say 90 grams? 90 milligrams. So you have 1 can, 90, 10 cans, 900, 20 cans, 1800 milligrams. You haven't even hit the 2000 milligram mark at 20 cans, at 50 kilos body weight. Now, I hope none of you are fucking drinking 20 cans plus a day. The bloatedness would be insane. The gas would be insane. But that's where it gets to a toxic level. So we're not even nearing that. Most people, what? You might drink 2. Let's say you drink a liter a day. 3 cans. That's only 300 milligrams of aspartame you're having. And now let's look at all the other stuff you're having. You know, you'll have your, because aspartame can mean multiple things because it's a sugar-free sweetener. So I don't know how much we actually use aspartame in our food products here in Australia, so I couldn't tell you. But let's just, for example, let's just say they're in all of them, okay? They're in all of them. So you're using sugar-free maple syrup, you're using sugar-free soft drink, you might use a protein powder that has aspartame, you might use, what else would you use that would I think about? Let's say sugar-free chocolate, and sugar-free not baking powder, sugar-free cocoa, you know, what's it called? There's like that brand, no sugar. Let's say you're doing like 5 or 6 different sugar-free things in a day. And let's say, again, each of them, let's just round it, let's say 100 milligrams each. Again, that's still 600 milligrams you're having in a day, a very low dose, all right? So we don't need to be stressing out about these things, about aspartame, I should say, because you're having lower doses of it. Now, again, if someone's drinking liters of sugar-free drink a day and they're consuming all these sugar-free options, then it's like, well, maybe it's something you actually got to be aware of. But we're just not pushing that point. And again, we're kind of like, you know, we're looking to pick things that we can demonize or be scared of or, you know, try and blame. And it's like, we're missing the big picture. Like anyone who's saying, oh, you shouldn't, like, no offense, but it's always the unhealthy people that are like, oh, sugar-free drinks, I'd rather just have a full sugar Coke. Don't you know how bad the sugar-free stuff is for you? Don't you know how bad it is when you put down a case of fucking beer every weekend? Don't you know how bad it is when you down a bottle of fucking alcohol? Don't you know how bad it is that you're smoking 40 fucking cigarettes a day or you're puffing on a vape every day of your life and you're here to tell me that the fucking sugar-free thing that I'm drinking is bad? It's like, Jesus Christ, throwing rocks in glass houses here. Like, people just have no fucking idea. And again, we're all falling susceptible basically to in the group 1 stuff. I'm not telling you guys to cut it out. You know, if you want to keep participating in that stuff, in the group 1 stuff, it's fine. Like, am I going to quit drinking fully? No. Like, I don't really drink much as it is, here or there. Once every, 3 or 4 months I'll drink, just because for me personally, I don't enjoy it. But guess what? You know, if I go out and I go out with mates and we have a shisha, I'm going to have a shisha. I enjoy shisha. Am I going to stop doing that? No, because it's like, fuck, it's my quality of life and I enjoy it. And these are trade-offs we make. Yet, you can't start thinking about, oh, I'm going to fucking cut out something from group 2B and keep doing the stuff in group 1. Like, we also look at that, again, when it comes to dose making the poison. People are like, oh, fuck, I better cut back on that sugar-free stuff. It's like, all right, so you're going to try and make a healthy decision to cut back on something that's possibly carcinogenic, yet you're still going to go and drink every weekend. Like, frequency still matters. If you're drinking and getting shit-faced every fucking weekend, you're not doing yourself a service. Funnily enough, something else to think about when it comes to toxicity and poison. What happens when you drink too much? Right? What happens? You fucking throw up, you know? Do you know why you throw up when you drink? You know, oh, because I get dizzy, because, you know, like it's, I'm just too drunk. Yeah, you're too drunk, but you've got too much fucking ethanol in your body. Your liver, like ethanol, alcohol is a toxin, right? Like, that's literally a toxin. The liver stops doing anything, stops trying to burn fat, stops trying to metabolize any other food. It tries to get rid of the alcohol as fast as possible. It's like, we got to get this fucking poison out of our body. That's why, you know, people say, oh, once you break the seal, you start pissing a lot. Yeah, because the liver is trying to get it through the kidneys out of the fucking body, all right? So when you drink too much and you're throwing up, your body is like, we need to get the poison out of me. I cannot process it fast enough. I need to fucking throw it up. So it's like, if you ever want to know, like, if you've had alcohol toxicity, it's because you've thrown up. You may not have ended up in hospital for it. Your blood alcohol may not have been super high that, like, you know, again, you're put in hospital, or you're so unconscious you have to go. But if you're throwing up, that is a warning sign of toxicity. Yet, how many people fucking throw up all the time when they're drunk? No one bats an eyelid at it. Oh, no, it's fine. They just fucking, you know, oh, they just drank too much. Oh, they just, you know, they didn't eat beforehand. They did eat beforehand. They did this, they did this. And it's like, yeah, okay, all these things play a factor, but you fucking drank too much alcohol. Your body can't process it. It needs to get the thing out of its body, all right? I don't know any of you that have drank so much fucking Coke Zero or so much sugar-free stuff that your body's like, this is poison, I'm going to throw the fucking thing up. It doesn't happen. Just something to think about, you know? Really something to process. Because again, we're throwing rocks in glass houses here. Not my opinion to say whether you should or shouldn't stop type 1 choices, but it's just like, don't fucking look at those little things and think they're the issue, because they're fucking not. It's like the people that think, oh, maybe it's, I'm not losing weight. I wonder what it could be. Maybe it's this mystery thing. Maybe it's this. It's like, maybe it's a thing right in front of you. Maybe it's because you are just eating too much. Maybe it's because you fucking skip a workout and you never get off your ass to go for a walk instead. Maybe it's because you sit down all day and you fucking eat junk food. Nah, it can't be that. It has to be the sugar-free stuff. Nah, it has to be the fruit. The fructose in the fruit is definitely what's causing me issues. It can't be my shitty diet on the weekend. It can't be that I binge eat. It can't be that I order Uber Eats 6 times a week. It can't be that I never fucking do exercise. It has to be fructose from the fruit. It has to be the sugar-free stuff. Has to be my damaged metabolism. Can't be anything else. It's the fucking main thing that people just want to walk around with blindfolds on. Oh, no, it's the Aspartame. I'm still going to fucking drink all my alcohol. Oh, I'm still going to smoke cigarettes. I'm just not going to have that Aspartame. Like, for fuck's sake, get a grip. You got to accept the fucking truth sometimes, and the truth hurts, you know? Like, it's not fun to know that we're doing all these things that, you know, can be carcinogenic, that can cause us unhealthy, can cause us unhealth in the future. But that's fucking what it is. So let's just clear that up there. You can drink sugar-free drinks without stressing out, okay? Now I want to talk about sugar-free drinks a little bit differently too. Because again, this argument comes up about, oh, well, you know, you shouldn't drink sugar-free drinks. You should just have the natural full sugar. Like, what's this cunt's name? Joel Seedman or something. I don't know what his name is, but he's the one, you've seen him a few times. Like, there's a fair few of them. They're in the supermarket. They'll pick up the fucking, I'm going to grab my microphone. Actually, that'll be too loud. They pick up the Coke and they say, don't you know what this yellow dye 13 is? Or the aspartame in this and the way the body processes it, and blah, blah. Like, they start speaking shit. You're just better off having the full sugar option. Let me just tell you guys something. Human health at the moment, we are at a very, very bad level of overweight and obesity, basically, okay? People die from a lot of preventable diseases, okay? Like, people are dying from being overnourished, not malnourished now. There is more people dying from obesity than there is from starvation. You can look that up. There is no question about it. People are dying more from being overfed versus underfed, which is pretty fucking crazy when you think about it. Like, what a time to be alive that I can die from eating too much food, because the ramifications of eating too much food, diabetes, risk of stroke, risk of heart disease, basically all-cause mortality is increased when you are overweight and unhealthy, okay? Cardiometabolic disease, all that type of shit. So when someone says, oh, you're better off drinking a full sugar Coke. All right, so you're telling someone, instead of choosing something with 0 calories that's going to help with their appetite, you're telling someone to drink something when a can of Coke is about 160 calories just for a can. Someone drinks a liter of that is 480 calories, so about 500 calories per liter. I'm pretty sure that's right. You're telling someone to drink that, or to drink a full sugar can of Coke. That's going to increase their calorie consumption. That's going to give them a massive spike in blood glucose. Now, again, blood glucose isn't everything, but if you're already overweight, it's going to be an issue. If you're having that, there's some extra calories, that's an issue. That's going to then encourage them to most likely gain weight. That's then going to increase their overall risk of dying. You're telling people to have that. You're actually contributing to the fucking obesity epidemic by telling people to have something full sugar. Where, if a client came to me and like, I drink a few liters of full sugar drink a day, or I really like my full sugar drinks, but I've heard on the internet, what do you think is going to be better? Should I stick to this? Because I've heard the sugar-free stuff is fine. I would tell them exactly this. I would be like, hey, so I understand what your stress is about. Go and listen to this podcast, the one that I'm recording now, to listen about how bad aspartame is for you. And then I want you to think about, you're drinking, let's say, 2 liters of full sugar drink a day. So you're drinking 1,000 calories of full sugar. If we swap just that full sugar drink alone, so 2 liters to sugar-free, that's still within a range, funnily enough. You change that. You now cut out 1,000 calories a day from your diet. You're going to lose weight from just doing that one thing. Not only that, you're going to have the same satiety, possibly more satiety. You're going to then lose weight, which is going to lower your all-cause mortality, which is going to make you healthier, and in the long run, prevent you from dying earlier. What do you think about that? I think that would actually fucking think that's a better idea. You would hope so, because this fear-mongering, this fucking misinformation, this bullshit, and then people actually saying you're better off having a full sugar thing is just fucking ludicrous. The people that say that, they should drink a fucking bottle of bleach. That's a carcinogen. They should fucking drink that. Because it's like, how can you be telling people such a dumb fucking mentality when we do not have an issue of people dying from sugar-free drinks or any of this bullshit? We have people dying from fucking having too much body fat, being too heavy, being too sedentary. We're trying to fix this issue, not trying to fucking make the issue worse. And again, anyone comes to you with that argument about, oh, you're better off drinking that, just look up groups of carcinogens, and then you just show them this list and be like, how many do you do in number 1? Because I betcha most of the people that fucking bang on about aspartame are also the cokeheads. Oh, you drink every weekend, you do bags every weekend, you smoke every weekend. Oh, but you only social smoke. You only smoke when you're with your friends and when you're drinking. So, okay, so let's have a look. Out of the last 4 weekends, how much have you done of this? Oh, okay, you bought a bag every weekend. You probably downed about fucking 4 or 5 bottles of alcohol in total. You've smoked about 16 to 20 cigarettes because you're only a social smoker. So basically every fucking weekend you're exposing yourself to type 1. Now, I'm only just doing type B and I drink every, let's say, 3 or 4 weeks, and I might have an occasional cigarette. Not me, just giving it an example. And then you say to them, who do you think has a fucking higher risk? Because the evidence is right there. So to the cokeheads out there, to the people that are always holier than thou, the body's a temple during Monday to Friday and getting absolutely fucked on the weekend and banging on about how aspartame is bad to you, just point them to the actual fucking facts. It just blows me away. It's fucking glass houses. But that's the podcast, guys. I just wanted to give you a quick bit of information about why you don't need to fucking be fear-mongering this stuff. And again, stick to your sugar-free drinks, especially if it helps with your appetite, if you enjoy it, if it's a better substitute than full sugar stuff. I'm telling you to do it, okay? Don't stress. The facts are there. Go look it up. Go look it up for yourself. What class of carcinogens are there? Or what are the classes of carcinogens? Have a look through it. When you look at, when you actually open up in human carcinogens on the Cancer Atlas in American Cancer Society, you're going to go down this list and you'll be like, I don't know what half of these things are. But there's so many in the group 1. I was like, whoa. I think a lot of these are just chemicals and stuff like that. But it's actually kind of mind-blowing to look at. So I got to learn some stuff this week today too. I got to learn some stuff this week to share today too, I should say. As always, if you guys like this podcast, give me a quick review. Just pause for a second, or while you're listening, on Apple, scroll to the bottom, click 5-star. On Spotify, it should be right under my little logo, click 5-star. Do that for me. It helps me reach more people. It helps people find me, and I just want to be able to help give out free information. I appreciate you guys for listening, and I'll speak to you next time.